Today we're going to teach you how to build or assemble your ceramic water filter. First, you will have gotten a ceramic water filter, and that's it, and it comes with this little pre-filter sock on it, which I keep on it at all times to protect it. And it has all of the washers and the wing nut that you need, and it also comes with a rubber band that you'll put right around that bottom edge after you assemble it, but not yet. It also comes with a spigot. Two models have come of the spigot, and you might get either one. One has a little fatter but shorter stem. This is the actual stem. One has a little skinnier but longer stem. Doesn't matter, they both work great. And they come with a curved rubber washer. Can you see that curve? And a nut. One of them actually comes also with a flat washer. That's not really an important washer. And then we also are giving you 3 O-rings, which we will explain how you use them. Okay, first you have to drill the holes in your buckets, which you are getting yourself. 2 buckets of any size you want, and 2 tear tab lids. This tear tab lid is a row pack tear tab lid, and I like those the best. It only has 1 hole. You do not tear the strip off, and ultimately you're going to put a piece of duct tape over that hole on just 1 lid, the lid that goes right there. You don't need any duct tape on the top lid. If you have gotten Kirk buckets from the grocery store or wherever, you also don't tear the strip off, but see how they have more holes? You need to put a piece of duct tape all the way around the edge on the 1 lid that goes right there, not on the top lid. First you're going to drill a 1/2 inch hole in this lid and a 1/2 inch hole in the bottom of this bucket, which I will show you. But in order to drill those holes, you need spade drill bits. That is a 3/4 inch spade or stubby spade drill bit. You need a 3/4 inch for the spigot and a 1/2 inch for the other 2 holes right there. And if you don't have them already, a wonderful place to get them is Harbor Freight. $3.99 for a 3-piece stubby spade bit set that has 3/4 inch and 1/2 inch and also 1 inch that you don't need. Alright, first let's show you what you need to do. The lid that goes right here needs a 1/2 inch hole right in the center. So you get out an ice pick or an awl and a Sharpie marker pen, and on the inner side mark a dot right in the center. Then take your ice pick and make a little pilot hole in there right in the center. Then you can turn it over, and it has obliterated a little plastic bump that was in the way in the first place. You can stick that in, enlarge that just a little bit. Then you can put your lid right there and drill. You have to be absolutely perpendicular to the lid, or it can throw it off and wreck the hole and wreck your lid or your bucket. So you have to be really careful. And if you go really slowly, you can see the larger hole, that's the 1/2 inch hole, appear as it starts to drill in. And it should appear all the way around the circle at the same time. If it's only appearing on one edge, that means you're tilted to that edge and you'll be making an oval, and that's what makes it flip. So just make sure you go slow, make any adjustments so the hole is appearing, and go all the way through. After you drill the hole in that lid, then let's set that down. Then you're going to drill a 1/2 inch hole in the top bucket. Same thing with your Sharpie marker pen. Mark a dot right in the exact center. Then poke a pilot hole right through it. Turn it over. It's now obliterated a little white plastic bump which was in the way. You can go through, enlarge that a little bit, like going like that. And then same thing. Drill from this side, making sure you're level, perpendicular. Alright, when you've got those 2 done, then you are ready to do the spigot hole. That's a 3/4 inch hole it doesn't matter which one of these. This is actually 3/4 of an inch, and this is smaller, but 3/4 of an inch works perfectly, and so just do that. You don't need to make it smaller. It works perfectly because of this curved washer. So you've got to change your drill bit out with one of your little chuck keys, and we'll just pretend that this is the 3/4 inch. Same exact thing. Make a dot about 1.5 inches up. You want to make it so that this isn't too close to the bottom where there's running interference, or if it tips at all, it'll break it off. 1.5 inches up will give you a little bit of space from the bottom. Works really well. So make a little dot 1.5 inches up, poke a little pilot hole, and with the 3/4 inch, not the 1/2 inch, you have to be perpendicular to the bucket. Notice if I'm straight, this bucket is sloped, so you've got to be sloped a little bit, and watch for the hole of the circle to appear at the same time. Alright, now let's show you how to assemble it. Let's use this longer but skinnier spigot stem. You take a curved washer, and you're going to put it on so that the curve is going to go into the hole. So the curve is like that, and we're going to put that into the hole and take the nut. Now the nut only has the threads reachable on one side. There's a side that has a little black raised circle on it. That's not the right side. The more flat side is it. You put that on, just tighten it by hand. Tighten it good, but by hand. And you get to a part where if it's hard to turn, you can hold the nut and turn that. Then straighten it out. Get it straightened up. Alright. Now, we're going to put the filter through there. First, we're going to take off the wing nut and one of the white rubber washers. Leave the other one on. That goes on the inside through this hole. Then we're going to put on 2 or 3, depending on what buckets you've gotten, of these O-rings. They help to take up just dead air space that come between the bottom of the bucket and the lid, because we're going to actually attach it to this lid, because this lid becomes a protection from dirty water getting down into the bucket. You will see. So we're putting that on, and that makes it so that as I tighten this, I don't get so much torque that it can split the bucket. Now, if you've gotten a Kirk lid, you cannot get the second white washer on. It just won't fit. It actually isn't necessary, and I'm not going to do it right now because it's hard to get it on. But with the row pack you can get it on. And then you just tighten this, not too tight, you don't want to break it. Now we've got that like that. And I'm going to put the rubber band around that filter sock to secure it so that it'll be right down at the bottom on the black edge, black plastic edge. Alright, then this would go like that. Here, let's make it so you can see that this is where I've got the piece of duct tape. And I'd put my dirty water in here, or my water I want to be filtered, and then it would work its way through the ceramic filter and the charcoal core, drop down into the bottom bucket, where I can then get it out into my glass with a spigot. And the other lid just sits on there. You never snap on the lids. If you snap them on, it's a problem getting them off, and we don't need them. But see how this now, because it's attached, it becomes a shield for dirty water dropping down into this bucket. If you haven't gotten a gasket on the underside there, then you might want to put a bead of caulk around this inner edge, because that will keep any water from getting down in between and then slipping down into the bottom bucket. Right, let's show you how this works now with this one that's all assembled. I've got a bucket of dirty water here, and you can hang your pre-filter bag from a tree limb. I just happen to have this little tricky thing from going to Mountain Man Rendezvous. Oh, take off that lid. This is a 1 micron bag that filters out a lot of the junk. It doesn't take out all of the dirt. I mean, the water looks dirty, but there's no stuff in there at all. It's taking out anything that was chunky at all. It'll also take out some protozoa and even bacteria. This will help to preserve the life of the filter. So you can just let that drip in there, or I could even do this into another bucket and then later pour it into this. And then it takes a while for the water to work through. In fact, the first couple of days, it's quite slow. The filter has to become completely saturated. And the more full you keep this top bucket, the faster, because of the gravity and the weight, it pushes the water through. And then you can just get your water out. Now, this will do 14 to 20 gallons a day, and up to about 5,000 gallons, roughly. Depends on how dirty your water is. This is helping to preserve the life of your filter, and so is that pre-filter sock. And that's how you do it.